Hello and welcome to Before We Break Up Again. I'm Alfie Brown and this is Jessie Cave. On this week's episode, we speak about it's more bipolar versus PMDD, the showdown of the century to rival Fury and Joshua. We also speak about Esther Perel and Jay Shetty and why the younger generation find it so hard to date. That's quite a good conversation. If I say so myself, I was having part of it, and teenage boys, but
and our fears for our teenage boys.
Fears for our teenage boys. Yeah, we don't speak about teenage boys as a general subject. Promotion-wise, I'm going on tour, and that's starting at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe. All the tickets are at alfiebrowntour.com, which is in the link below. Jessie will be joining me for the first week of the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, and that will involve you. When and where are you?
I don't know.
Great. Well, tickets linked below.
At midday.
It'll say when you click the link and find out if you can go. Just click the link. Just do the same for me as well. Buy tickets to enjoy the tour. Anything else to promote, Jessica?
I'm doing a Mother Slut show, a live circle on the 3rd of June at the Bill Murray, which will be very fun.
Fabulous.
And I'm also doing a conversation with former Skins and Game of Thrones actor Hannah Murray at the King's Place in London on the 5th of June, which should be a really interesting conversation about the wellness cult that she joined. And I'm interviewing her about it, which is quite cool.
Very interesting, very cool. There is patreon.com/braveclown where you can get an extra episode of this. It's not even an extra episode, it's just another episode as full and as good or bad, whatever you think of this podcast, as the main episode. It is just another episode of this that is only behind a paywall, which means that Jessie does it in her bra.
No, I don't.
No, you don't. I think everybody was across the...
I don't think they would. I think you've got to be a bit more careful with that.
No.
Okay.
Trust me. Because I'm...
What are you?
neurotypical.
Right. I don't think you are.
No, I'm not, but I'm in that department. I'm more across, I think, tonally what people are appreciating as jokes or not jokes. Let us know in the comments below. Did you know that I was joking when I said Jessie does the Patreon episode in her bra? Did you know? Or did you think that she was genuinely doing it in her bra? Let us know it genuinely. Let us know in the comments below. I'd love to know between us who's got a better read on the public psyche. Okay.
Yeah,
now let's begin. It's a long intro this week, but it is a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. We couldn't do it yesterday, so which is why it's late out, because we had a fight yesterday because she's in a Luteal phase, and much of that is covered in the episode. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Ferry across the Mersey.
No.
We can't. I think you did a very good thing last week with your. I made fun of it. But with your bespoke melody for Ferry Across the Mersey, that was the right thing to do. What was the wrong thing to do was for me to play Ferry Across the Mersey by Jerry and the Pacemakers into the microphone, as it is limited the reach of our podcast. And that's why if you look at the views, they've fallen away last week.
Oh, because it's a real song.
Because it's a real song that I played, so it got
Copyright.
It got flagged for copyright infringement.
And I wonder if the circus music... Oh, that was our Patreon episode. Did we talk about the pickpocketing?
I can't remember, but... Also, we didn't put any circus music in, did we?
Yeah, we did. I played on Spotify.
All right. Well, anyway, if it's a Patreon episode, then it wouldn't make any difference.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Well, no, it just wouldn't make any difference to the reach. With the copyright infringement, wouldn't. I've got a new spot coming up on my cheek.
It's because you're taking so much testosterone. You're becoming a teenager again. So that's annoying. Don't play any songs in this one, and be more grateful for my natural rhythm and melody.
Yeah.
Ferry across the Mersey.
Are you doing an accent?
No, I'm just doing like a old-fashioned voice.
Right.
Ferry. I really have to say I'm dreading doing the singing at the Have a Word thing.
Yeah.
Because we're meant to be doing a song, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. We are. We've practiced.
And you said yes on my behalf.
No, I asked you. But I can understand now that you don't want to do it. You will have reframed it in your memory as something that I've forced you into doing. Because I think it's easier for you to cope with doing things that you don't want to do if there is somebody that you can blame other than yourself.
I really want to do it and be good. But what happens when I'm in front of an audience is I do this kind of act of being geeky and shriveled. And so what I want to do is perform something really cool and for us to be this kind of strong musical duet. But it won't be. It'll be so...
Well, if your ferry across the Mersey's anything to go by, then I think everybody's got a lot to be excited about.
See, the thing is, if I had had good, consistent singing training, I think I would have been a very good musical theatre singer. Because I've got a good range. I can go low and I can go extremely high.
Can we have a little bit of low?
Well, in one of my first singing lessons, I sang that song, Hard to Say I'm Sorry.
Go on.
It goes, everybody needs a little time away. I heard her say from each other.
And could you give us a bit of high, but just whilst leaning back from the microphone slightly?
No, sorry. Oh, so you don't hurt people's ears.
And mine, yeah.
Oh, right.
I'm wearing headphones.
The sun will come out.
But Jessie, I have to stop you right there. Why, when you sing that song, do you sing the sun will come out tomorrow?
Sun.
That's not what you say when you sing it.
Sorry.
You sing the sun will come out tomorrow. And you do it every single time you sing that song. I don't. No. I'm telling you that you do. And it is very sweet, but also it is not how that goes. And I'm wondering if it's one of your funny affectations. That's all I'm worried about, really. Is it one of Jessie's funny affectations, or do you know that you're saying the sun will come out tomorrow?
No, I don't really know that I'm doing it, and it's also one of those things where it doesn't matter to me, so I don't pay it any attention. I don't care if it's not correct.
So when we're singing our song that we're not allowed to reveal yet, at the Have a Word Stars in Their Eyes performance on the 31st of May.
Where is it?
It's in Newcastle.
Actually?
No, it's in Content in the Baltic Triangle, I think.
Content?
Yeah.
What's Content?
A venue.
How big is it?
It's, I don't know, 800?
800 people?
I can't remember.
No. That can't be my first big audience.
Yeah, well, I think we did the first roast there, yeah.
Okay. So what were you going to say? Sorry? The affectation, you're worried that...
I just don't know whether it's something you're doing to be funny, because the ferry across the Mersey, you know what you're doing, you're trying to be funny. The sun will come out tomorrow, or the getting lyrics wrong, like... I
don't know, I think it's some hangover from being a teenager and using my voice to seduce. To seduce and disgust. That's what I did. So I would go into the room, you know how you have a form room, like your class at the beginning of the day in sixth form, and there was a boy that I fancied, the one that I loved, that blah, 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 it's broken my heart, blah, 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 blah. That I would go in and try to impress him, and I thought the way to impress him was by being funny. So I would go in and I would go, the sun will come out. Obviously, incredibly unattractive behaviour.
As a teenager, I think so, yeah.
Piercing voice.
I think it has a real charm to it now.
But they were all such moody boy teenagers who were sleep deprived and didn't want to be at school. And I come in and I start singing loudly, and, you know, it was such an off-putting start to their day.
Being
and I
a
did that every
teenage boy
day.
is just fucked.
It's so bad. And I'm really worried about it, given that we have three. I'm really, my brothers, Robbie's different because Robbie was so high performing and high functional, and he was an athlete, blah, 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 blah. So he didn't ever have that phase of being this kind of absolute waster. Whereas my two younger brothers, they would play video games all the time. They would go to bed so late. They would lie to my mum. They would just, I don't know how we're going to cope with that.
It's interesting, isn't it? And I think the tumultuous wreckage, like, that you're left in from all of these hormones, you are so depleted and foggy brained, and so full of testosterone. I don't know if it's easier to go through puberty for low testosterone males, but for high testosterone males like me, it was very, very difficult. And how sleepy I felt the whole time. And people, I think it's mad that they still ask teenagers to go into school at like 8:30 a.m. It's crazy. Think about their bodies and their brains. Let them sleep in. They're fucked. And your whole Luteal phase that we've just been enjoying for the last however long. Like, that is what you are as a teenage boy, but you're in it for a good few years. And I used to
more than a few years.
Well, I don't know. My little brother, who's 10 years younger than me, so was going through his sort of pubic shift when I was in my mid-20s. And, oh my God, I don't know whether I was a help or hindrance to him, but I knew what he was going through. But so whenever he was cranky, I just wouldn't take it seriously. Whenever he was in a mood, oh God, just stop it, I would go, it's okay. Your body's changing. And I said it in such a kind of creepy and matter-of-fact way that it managed to kind of break through to his core, I think. I don't think he enjoyed it, but I think he felt seen, maybe.
Maybe. I remember one of my brothers had a really sympathetic male teacher, and the teacher obviously had empathy for these teenage boys and their fatigue, and would let him sleep in the class because he knew that my brother there was nothing for him there. So would just allow him to sleep, and really still believed in him in a way, but just knew that it wasn't. So I think it was like the form time where you have at the beginning of the day the register. I think that's really nice. I think having to meet Donnie's year 7 teacher this week was fascinating, just to realize, oh, this is my 10-minute window where I'm going to meet the man who is going to see my child more than me in the week. I kind of had this really weird mixture of deep resentment towards him and also kind of like
huge attraction.
Huge physical attraction.
I get that. I had that when I went to go into our children's school and I saw Mrs. Gonzalez for the first time and thought, wow, what a woman. She's looking after my child so thoughtfully. I've obviously changed her name.
Yeah, you have. So yeah, the male teachers might have some greater sympathy towards the teen.
I think teenage years are almost a kind of reverse chrysalis, in that you are born a butterfly and you spend your first years in this magical world of make-believe. Santa is real. We play. We dance to Danny Go. Everything is possible. You're working out the world and everything is about discovery and beauty and, a bit of frustration, obviously, but it is kind of a magical thing to be a child, like being a butterfly. And then you get into your chrysalis, and then after your teenage years, you emerge a caterpillar and you go, oh, right, this is shit, isn't it? This is fucking, I'm a worm about going to work and trying to make something of, and then you kind of give birth to these butterflies and go, oh, well, that looks like fun.
They give birth as a caterpillar?
I'm doing a metaphor.
Oh, right. But what?
I'm doing a metaphor.
I know, but a metaphor has to be kind of grounded in some kind of, I don't understand.
Maybe it's an analogy. Anyway,
I don't
the point
understand.
is that, like...
That was really good, though, until you mentioned the giving birth to butterflies.
Well, that's because as an adult, in my analogy, you are a caterpillar as an adult.
Right. And then
so you would give birth to a butterfly.
Right, got it. Sorry, I'm thick.
Cut that last bit from the clip, I think.
Yeah.
Have we got an agenda today?
Yeah, we do have an agenda today. I'm just thinking about teenage boys in a.
Oh yeah.
That's
nice. Can we clip that as well?
I'm scared. I'm more scared, really, for to be a parent of teenage boys than I am our daughter, because I know from my failures and my misbehaviors as a teen where I went wrong. I know I can help her. And she's already showing signs of being incredibly difficult, but in ways that I can manage. And I think that
what do you mean by that?
just with her language and her attitude.
You mean with her language towards you?
Yeah, she doesn't mean it. But, when all of my problems with her come down to me rushing her, and I completely understand that. So if we're late in the morning or we're tight for time and I say, okay, come on, we got to go. I know we have to go. It's like everything has some kind of sassy comeback.
Also being made to endure even the tiniest bit of physical endurance.
Oh, yeah.
Walking home from school. As soon as we got 20 minutes into the sort of approximately 37-minute journey, I don't want to. Well, we're going to do this every day now. I don't want to do this every day.
Yeah, she woke up this morning. She said, my whole body hurts. I can't go to school. My whole body hurts from walking home from school. And now we have to do that every day. And I have to do homework when I get from school. And that means I don't even get any time to watch my show. Tears rolling down her cheeks, so upset with her life. I found it so funny, and I handled it really well because my mum follows rules. So if we tried to miss school, she'd have take no prisoners.
You had to be diagnosed with a serious illness to get a day off school.
Oh yeah, and even if you were seriously ill, and you might even be contagious, she'd happily send you in because the school can send you home if you're really that sick.
You need to go into school. Mummy, it's meningitis. You need to go into school.
Oh, God. Let's not talk about that fucking hell. The jabs, yeah. The jabs, people need to be... Anyway, whatever. I won't go into that.
Yeah, sorry about that, everybody.
There are very limited jabs.
Should have chosen Lucas or something.
This is the other thing that I find really disconcerting about parenthood. Unless you're really on it with news and admin, and you're good at replying to things and good at opening the school app and the nursery app and knowing, I'm so shit at all of that stuff. So I miss so much information. So the meningitis news that's coming out about, our son falls into that category of they didn't get the meningitis jab. So if I didn't, I've only luckily seen a bit of news come in about it, but I would be completely, so luckily I've managed to book him a jab. I don't think it will happen because there's such a shortage, but it's one of those things that I could again miss because I'm just kind of completely clueless when it comes to admin. Anyway. Yeah.
Oh, I completely agree. It's as a fine comedian once joked, parenting is not a full-time job. It is so much more time consuming than that.
That was your joke?
Yes.
I loved that joke.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not worried about dealing with Margot because I was her, and I think I'll be a bit more, I know how to strategize her behavior more. Whereas with the boys, it's kind of, so for instance, last night you weren't here, but our 5-year-old was talking about death again, his favorite subject.
And mine.
And yours. And for some reason, he was mentioning, and I thought, hang on, this is weird. Why is he talking about this so much? And then I went ding, 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 because he's recently started watching anime with Donnie, who's obsessed with anime. And so I thought, as an experiment, I'll watch an anime with them while you weren't there, because I know you can't quite cope with the anime.
It's just because it is, I sat in there trying to read once while they were watching anime, and what the fuck is going on in these anime shows that means that everybody has to be making that same stock anime sound? Yeah! Like, what? Hey, you gotta go over there. I'm not doing, yeah! Hey, I will fight to the death, and you go, and I've got my, yeah! Why that again? Yeah!
And they're all naked. Not naked, but they're all ripped and half naked.
Big tits.
And the boobs, yeah. So I haven't quite acknowledged that part of it. And the violence, it's so violent. And it's my failure there. I've not picked up on it.
I just thought it was cartoons.
I thought it was cartoons too. I thought it was kind of like Studio Ghibli, Ghibli type innocent, sweet little stories. This is not. And so I realized that probably 10 has watched the anime with Donnie No wonder he's talking about swords the whole time.
Yeah, but he's also been a very existential child.
Yeah, but I'm not allowing that to continue. And
Existentially minded, I should say.
When I said yesterday they're not going to watch anime anymore, Donnie was so upset. And when he went to bed, he wrote me a letter. He's written a letter, like a whole essay about why he should be allowed to watch anime.
Oh my God, he's going to be an MP.
He's written a letter.
He's going to be an MP. Oh my God.
So I realise it's my fault. I haven't. So that kind of thing, like, adolescence and the fact that you don't know what your son is doing upstairs. I don't know what they're watching in the animes.
Fucking adolescents.
So I have to be more vigilant.
Yeah.
That's my lesson.
So what have we got on the agenda today?
Well, two things. We're going to talk about why we're both not on medication for things that we absolutely have that are medical problems.
Sure.
And also, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I heard on a podcast by my favourite woman in the world, Esther Perel. You've never really listened to Esther Perel, have you?
I'd go further than that. I have never listened to Esther Perel. I couldn't pick Esther Perel out of a lineup. I couldn't identify her voice. I don't know I don't know. I tell you what I know about Esther Perel is that we've got some relationship cards that have questions on them. The end.
Okay. Well, I really think you should listen to a couple of her podcasts.
Well, I've got a long drive to my shows tonight.
She's so wise.
Bristol, going to. So
basically, Esther Perel, she does this podcast called Where We Begin. And it's always couples having this chat, and she's just the most successful relationship expert going. She wrote this book, Mating and Captivity, which I read years and years and years ago. I don't remember anything from it, but it's an iconic book about relationships and sex. And anyway, she was on. You know how I'm obsessed with celebrity memoirs.
Oh God, yeah.
So I happened to see that Hayden Panettiere has a memoir out. So obviously, I'm going to get that.
Yes. I think one of my most desired women of my teenage years or early 20s.
That's so interesting. I used to be told that I had a similar thing to her sometimes.
You don't. I think you do, yeah.
Like my nose and my shit.
Not
and
your nose, but I think you do.
If I have my hair down and I'm like, in a cheerleader outfit or something, or I've got a guitar and I have my hair curled and I was tan and I had lipstick on.
If you're a country singer, yeah, in Nashville.
Well, her life has been hard, let me tell you that.
Yeah.
Really hard.
It was my mid-20s because I watched a lot of Nashville and I thought, I don't know how, I can't remember their names now, but I can't remember how the swarthy older gentleman
Connie
is resisting.
Oh, right, the man, sorry.
Yeah.
So you know that a lot of Nashville was actually written around her real life. So it became weird and she got annoyed that almost every single thing that happened in her life, like she got pregnant, that was written in. She was with in a very tempestuous relationship, that was written in. It all followed, and she was going through the worst part of her life as she filmed Nashville.
Yes, I find that weird when people do that. Like in Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, when Aaron Sorkin writes Matthew Perry's character to be addicted to painkillers. And he's got to go, oh, well, how do I play this?
So
this is,
I've diverted, but basically I listened to this podcast with Jay Shetty, and I only know of Jay Shetty because he's got a smoothie at Joe and the Juice.
That's how I keep up with most of my popular culture these days is, have you got a smoothie at Joe and the Juice?
I remember seeing the muscle machine chocolate one or whatever it was, and thinking, who's Jay Shetty? I should really look him up. Lo and behold, he does this podcast called On Purpose. I listened to the Hayden Panettiere one. It was brilliant. And then I saw that he'd done one with Esther. So I listened to that.
Sorry, which Esther?
Esther Perel.
Thank you, sorry.
So I'm listening to that. It's within 5 minutes of listening to it, I had to stop because I found it too depressing about modern day communication and how all of our social skills have just been depleted because of phones and all of this stuff. But one thing she said that I think is an interesting talking point for us is she said that he asked, why do you think we are so scared of dating now. What Gen Zs seem to just be incapable of going out and finding someone at a bar and just going up to someone and starting a conversation. And she said it all comes back to, did you play on the street when you were a child? Because if you did, that was where you learned the foundations of risk and putting yourself out there and failure and going up to people and trying to make a conversation, and basically romanticized playing on the street as a child.
I really can't understand why people are so keen to constantly bring up, well, back in the day, people used to play on the street. Like, I never, before smartphones, we all played on the street. I never played on the street. I played on the street once. My friend lived in a cul-de-sac and we went rollerblading up and down, and I was already at his house and we went to the same school. What is that? Like, well, we don't play on the street anymore, so we never talk to each other. Like, these children don't have playgrounds to go to at lunchtime. Like, they don't socialize, like they're not with each other all day away from... I mean, it's a crazy... There are so many other reasons I think you can look to as to why, like, the younger generations find it harder to date. And that is... And it's all to do with friction. That's
what she said. That's exactly the word she used.
Well, there you go.
That's so weird.
Me and Esther, maybe I'm a huge Esther Perel fan. Yeah. And I'm like, I think it's to do with porn. A lot of it is to do with porn. I think that you get such a release of dope. Like, I can see somebody who is a traditional, like, a person with the desirable aesthetic of, like, I can see somebody who would never fuck me naked in a minute if I want to. I could do it now on my phone. I can.
Sorry, you can see someone who would never fuck you naked.
I can see somebody that is so hot they would never fuck me. I can see them naked. A few clicks of my phone.
Yes.
That ease. Then there's also the idea of Tinder and Hinge and Bumble, which the dopamine that you get from just the swiping in the matches supersedes any dopamine you get from... So you've already had the most exciting bit by the time that you meet these people. And because the dopamine that you get, or the excitement... I hate people who use dopamine the whole time instead of more kind of human language, even though human... Whatever. When you are in a bar and I go, hey, I would like to go out with you. Would you be amenable to that idea? That was my chat up line. Then people would go, yeah. And that is when you get your surge of excitement. You get your butterflies. You get butterflies because there's risk and you don't know. But if you've already matched with this stranger, then it's taken all of that risk and that excitement and that lack of knowing away. I mean, I am ignorant because I've never done internet dating. I've downloaded the apps before, but I've never met anybody from one of the apps. Although I did go out on a date with a barmaid once, and she came in this big fur coat and was fake tanned, and I looked like I look. And she went to the toilet, and the lads on the table next to us went, "Is that a Tinder date?" Just because we looked so poorly matched.
I think also all of that, the lack of friction leads to, if it isn't great, if the actual interaction on that instant date isn't successful, it doesn't feel exciting, there is such a profound sense of emptiness. Because it's like, but all of those things are in place. We've ticked all of these boxes to get to this stage. Why do I feel this emptiness? And that, like, I think of the people that I've met in bars. It's so few. But whenever I did end up having a successful match with someone just by chance, dancing or at a bar, if you actually looked at them on paper, they would be so mismatched with me. It would be hilarious how wrong for each other we were. But there was some tiny bit of chemistry that was enough to enable an evening together or a date together or a few weeks together. And that is what I think internet dating and maybe the phones has destroyed, is we want somebody who ticks all of our boxes. And if we find someone who doesn't, if somebody doesn't tick even a few, we swipe left or right. I don't know which way it is.
What?
We never give them a chance, basically.
I think also and I think social media is another big problem because all of it is about performance. So most of human speech that you hear, and I think that socialization, it's not about playing on the street when you're a child, because obviously you've got playgrounds to go to. So I don't really think it could be that. I mean, I'm happy to be wrong. I think it's something you unlearn. Socialization is something you unlearn through a smartphone.
Yeah.
Because you stop speaking to people and you start staring at people, performing. Because now I'm trying to get that to stop. We're also used to people like speaking through the phone in this mode of performance that we've forgotten what it is to speak in a more interactive way. And we've become so painfully self-aware that it's transformed into self-obsession almost, and a meticulous dissection of everything that you are. All of the younger generation, they're so fucking well dressed because they can all see each other the whole time, so they know what constitutes fashion. And the things I used to wear, oh my God. But it was all about like me discovering, like me trying to communicate who I was through these awful trousers. I wear baggy pinstripe woolen with a grey pinstripe, with grey trousers with a purple pinstripe, like pink loafers, and then a tight-fitting like designer top that I'd saved up for, got on sale from Selfridges. It was so bad, with like a side. It was all awful.
But even when I met you, it was pretty bad, the style. Not bad, it was just very unique. You wore a really low-cut shirt with your chest out and very, almost quite gothy.
Well, I let my previous girlfriend dress me for quite some time. So I got into a relationship with my first girlfriend, and she was very up on her fashion. So you could see it in a montage. I go in wearing this kind of gingham shirt, and I used to wear fingerless gloves the whole time. A gingham shirt and fingerless gloves, and jeans and shit trainers, and then she sort of dragged me through Top Man, and I sort of came out transformed because I worked in white stuff for so long, so I could just get their shirts free. So I just wore whatever shirt was on at white stuff at that point.
Wow.
And jeans. I've never been very good at dressing myself.
I think you're finding it now.
I think my electric blue suit and bow tie is the making of me, yeah.
Yeah, but also just...
I finally feel like myself.
Yeah, I can't imagine you with long hair now. I just can't imagine it.
Yeah.
And I was so afraid of you cutting it.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the barber before I go to the southwest of England.
So that was what I found really interesting thinking about. And also I found this kind of... I became instantly quite scared for our kids, just thinking about the lack of chance interaction anymore because everyone's just staring at their phones. And I mean, we see it because we live around so many schools, and you see these kids outside the school gates waiting at the bus stop, all just nose deep in their phone. And I make this ridiculous, dramatic point now of saying to the kids, see, look at them. They're not focusing on the road. They're looking at their phones. Think how pathetic that is. I wind down the video shout, losers! You're all losers! I
think it should be socially acceptable when somebody is walking down the street on their phone. If they're walking towards you and they don't notice you, it should be allowed, furthermore encouraged, for you to slap their phone out their hand. Because I mean, I was walking down the street on my phone once, and this enormous and gorgeous bloke, but very, rugged and also quite dangerous looking. He was walking down the street. I didn't know he was there. He was walking up, and I just walked into him, and my phone dropped on the floor, cracked, and he looked behind him and went, "That's what you get."
Yeah.
And I went, "Do you know what?
Formative moment.
Absolutely right, sir."
Well, I also think there should be some kind of community police situation in parks when parents are on their phones in the park. I honestly cannot bear it. I want to say, what are you doing? Just just play with them for 5 minutes, or just push them on the swing without looking at your phone for 5 minutes. I understand if it's some kind of really important text or email, whatever. But if you're scrolling TikTok in the park as your child is wandering around their own, what are you doing? I think it's so crap. The same now that we have a dog. When I see people walking their dog looking at their phone. And I'm guilty of that. I did that at the beginning with the dog. So I was like, oh, great. I can actually be walking, getting my steps in and looking at my phone. And then I realized, what am I doing? Like, it's so upsetting. And now teenagers who are obviously in year 7, year 8, they come into the playgrounds after school and sit in the playground on their phones in groups as toddlers are running around. And I think that should be illegal. I don't think that should be allowed.
Do you think maybe we should make this our agenda? Like we should go on to BBC Breakfast as parents and talk about this.
They wouldn't have us on, Alfie.
No, the cancelled guy and the OnlyFans star? No, of course not. But, you know, a lot of people like quite cynically attach themselves to an agenda so that they can go and speak about it. And actually it's like a marketing exercise for themselves because the agenda that they're a part of is bigger than they are.
I remember this.
You remember it?
Well, no, I remember a celebrity doing this. Sienna Miller, when she was having her, you know, incredible trajectory upwards very quickly after the
irresistible rise.
She went on BBC Breakfast to talk about how important it was for us to turn the tap on when we're brushing our teeth, turn the tap off when we're brushing our teeth to save water. And obviously valid, but what...
That's a juicy breakfast segment, isn't it?
There was so little news at that point. There must have been so little news. But also just like, Sienna, just be in the films. What are you doing?
Pre-Brexit, I imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Before, remember how like placid the news was?
I remember it was boring. The news was boring. Now the news is so high intensity. The second you turn it on, it's like bam, 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 bam. It's just, oh my God, it's just unbearable. Anyway, that was. I thought that was quite interesting to talk about.
Very interesting to talk about. Thank you very much indeed.
Although maybe people don't like us talking about stuff like that.
Well, maybe people don't like us at all.
Yeah, that's true. Well, they've lasted 34 minutes in.
Well, maybe they have.
Now we need to be funny and silly.
Okay.
So let's talk about why you like my new boobs. No, joking. Why we were having quite a funny discussion about you've been pretty down for the last few weeks. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yeah, low energy shit. Yeah, not shit. You've been sweet, but just low ebb. And then I've been quite firm with you about certain things and trying to incentivize you and encourage you to get out of this kind of little rut. And you said yesterday that if I didn't have my...
No, okay. No. Tell the whole story if you'd like to tell that. Say what you said to me first. If you want to bring that up as if I said that apropos of nothing.
Oh, I said that.
Right,
oh, right.
okay,
Sorry. Yeah, this was mean. This was mean. This was mean.
So
no, but it wasn't. No, wait. It wasn't that mean. It was just like I have accidentally slipped in the word unattractive in the last few weeks. I don't know why, but it's just come. I don't know why.
Don't be like that, Alfie. It's so unattractive. But no, that's not what I was saying. You were saying when
you look very good at. I find you very physically attractive at the moment.
Oh, she's really tempering how she originally phrased it.
I did phrase it badly.
You wrote it down, you put it on the agenda, but what you wanted to do was you wanted to only say the thing that I said that was bad, which I only said in response to the thing that you said that was bad.
I just said I would have left you if I didn't find you so hot.
You said when you're in your luteal phase, you don't feel love.
When I'm in my luteal phase, I feel such an apathy towards you. That I find it hard to find you attractive.
At least you're hot now.
So, because
is what you said.
I said, at least you're hot now because I'm like...
This is what I and you were going to tell this story without mentioning this first.
Oh,
weren't you?
It's true. The dynamic has shifted because now I don't feel like the hot one. For years, it was kind of like you were this kind of like grumpy, hairy... You know, you couldn't see you. because you were just so covered in hair and
fat.
No, not fat, but just like
I think the implication was very much fat. But also, I will say, lots of fat people, in the same way that lots of thin people, very attractive. I, as a human being, because I have a kind of slender frame,
tiny little frame.
I don't wear fat very well. Some people do, and I find them very attractive. I, on the other hand, do not wear my fat very well. My fat does not accumulate in an attractive way.
No,
this is my opinion, not yours.
Wait,
yours.
I need to counter this with, I have never not found you attractive when you were bigger. I've always fancied you. But what I didn't fancy, and that was really unattractive, was the lethargy that came with drinking a lot and being like overweight and being kind of very static. That's what I never found attractive. So I don't give a shit about really your weight or anything like that, as long as you have energy. And what's interesting right now is, even though you are thinner, your energy has gone back to being crap. And I think that's because you're not eating enough. Like, you're not eating nowhere near enough for what you should be. I don't know why you're doing that.
I find I'm less hungry if I just don't eat.
Yeah, but it's really annoying. And it's one of those traits that you have, the habits you have, where you kind of shut down. You shut down.
I did realise yesterday that I hadn't eaten enough. And I do realise for the little while, I have not been eating enough, yes.
Not only not eating enough, but when you do eat, you eat the wrong thing. So actually...
There's nothing wrong with pretzels.
No, but you're not getting any nutrients in anything.
No, I understand that.
So it's of course you feel like
I was joking. There is something wrong with pretzels.
Yeah.
When they are the sort of staple part of your diet, yeah.
So I was just meaning that I find at least if there's no win right now because you're just being kind of like low and...
I know what you meant.
So at least you're a bit hot.
Yeah, I know what you meant. But what you said was, it's easier now that you're hot, because at least I go, oh yeah. And I went, I know, I feel exactly the same way. Now you've got your new tits, and when you're in your luteal phase, it's like, oh, well, I've got to put up with this, but at least they're here.
And I feel that.
I was essentially like, what I like to do sometimes after you've had one of your little blunt force honesty moments, I like to retaliate in kind to let you know what you've just said to me and its impact. Like when you criticised like what I was eating or consuming the other day, and I went, I know, and I really think you need to watch what you're eating for breakfast.
This was not eating. It was about marijuana. I was like, you've got back into it. Like, it's not helping you.
Oh, right. And
that's what I was saying. Then you were like, well, I don't like how you eat 3 chocolate bars in the morning.
Chocky bars. Another 3 chocky bars for breakfast, is it?
I don't have 3 chocky bars.
You do. You eat 3 chocolate bars a day.
No, I don't. God, we probably sound incredibly neurotic.
And incredibly shit as people. But I think that might be why people listen.
We are pretty kind of crap at the moment, though. Both of us have such a low ability to do what we want to do. We're just kind of fumbling about, unsure of what our next step should be. And we keep using this excuse of, oh, when Becca goes to school, we'll be able to kind of thrive.
You keep using that.
You do. You keep saying, well, you keep saying we can't do anything till September. You keep saying that.
Yeah,
I've said I'm a full-time mum.
Yes, I'll get up and go. Must have got up and left.
We just lost it. I don't know who said that.
Tom Jones? Can't remember.
We've just lost it. We've just become quite... I don't know what was the trigger to just create this new low. I think my luteal phase is worse when you're unhappy too, because then I resent you so deeply and irrationally, and I really can't see straight. So when you're good, I don't really notice it so much anymore.
I was speaking to a friend of the podcast, Rob Thomas, about this last night, whose new show is touring in June. And I saw it last night, and it is so funny. He is...
You saw his show last night?
Well, we were doing previews.
Oh, I didn't know you were doing previews.
And his tour, and his preview is further. His show's further along than mine, obviously, because he's touring it in June. But it's really, some of his lines are just so funny.
I really love his comments on my Instagram because most people don't realize that I know him probably. And so when he comments really mean things.
Yeah. And you don't realize that he's masturbating when he sends them, do you?
When he comments really mean things, people are just like, what's going on?
Yeah. But it was also quite funny that he feels okay doing that having never met you.
No, and he's been quite mean to me as well. Like whenever I don't know what he said. What was the mean thing he said?
I can't remember. But
about being middle class. Something mean about me being middle class.
They're being mean to me because I'm middle class. Scully. He's a Scully. So because I remember when I was diagnosed with depression, and I know that this is, we've gone around the houses before, but about how, I wonder if your luteal phase now having a name, whether it allows you to remove yourself from your actions, you are free of culpability for the way that you behave, and whether or not that's helpful. Like in the same way I seem to remember when I was diagnosed with depression, it's like, well, okay, great. It's not me. I'll just stay in bed and do nothing because I surrender to my ailment.
Surrender is actually a crucial word for me. Surrender is a word that I actually want to get tattooed onto my arm because I think with parenting, whenever it's hard, like whenever they've wet the bed in the middle of the night, or they're refusing to get their shoes on, or they're kicking up about cleaning their teeth, or they're having this needless fight and they're attacking each other, rather than combat that and fight it and shout or get angry and get upset, it's always so freeing to be like, surrender. I just surrender.
Absolutely.
And it's the same thing with my luteal phase. Now that I realize that I have this kind of catastrophic hormonal imbalance in those for at least 2 weeks every cycle, because my cycles are fucking long. I feel a lot. I just now surrender to it. When I used to fight it and be like, no, this isn't rational. This isn't rational. But it's such a weird creeping feeling because every month it's like you're a goldfish and you forget that the last one happened. And I was driving in the car yesterday and I was like, why do I dropped the kids at school. I was going to get a coffee, and the 5-minute drive from school to getting a coffee, I felt like my brain was exploding. I was like, why do I feel so on edge and like something terrible is about to happen, or I'm about to get attacked, or I'm about to crash, or I'm like, there must be something wrong. I must not know. There must be something happening. I must be feeling it. It was like a million feelings going on at the same time that made my brain want to just vibrate and explode. And then I got to the coffee place, I parked, and I was like, oh, no, it is just that. And I need to surrender to that and just let it be. But it's such a weird, extreme phase. I can't believe that is real.
I think you've taken the word surrender there and applied it in a different context to the one that I meant it. I was using it I think that type of surrendering is very positive and, very stoic. And the idea that you war with what you can control and you submit to everything else. And, the obstacle is the way, and change your project. When the situation changes, you change. Everything is to be used to your advantage. Like, how can you... I've had somebody saying this to me about my cancellations. Well, yeah, but now it's an opportunity for you to be the spokesperson for, like, whatever it is. I meant surrendering to these things in a sense that you are... When I was diagnosed with depression and bipolar disorder, it meant that I felt like I no longer had to try to find my way out of them.
Yeah.
And it meant that my bad behavior that I was exhibiting on account of those diagnoses, I was fine with because it was part of a broader diagnosis. And therefore I, the human Alfie, was no longer culpable for my actions and poor behaviors in those contexts. And it was other people's job to put up with them because I had illnesses.
And then at that time as well, you took medication, didn't you?
Yes, but that's, yeah, so I suppose I was trying to help it in that way. But what I'm saying is, do you think the diagnosis exacerbates the symptoms because you are more free to exhibit them because you feel liberated by the diagnosis itself?
Maybe. I don't know. I think that it's nice to have a diagnosis now to kind of retrace my steps and my history. And looking at the last 4 years since Becca was born, when I think that's when it was established that I have this. Mm-hmm. Because I think until then, I'd been pregnant on and off for so many years. It just, I hadn't noticed. And that's, I think, why I was so keen to get pregnant again, because it was this alleviation suddenly of those symptoms. But looking back now at the last 4 years, I can completely see how those luteal phases were completely lined up with huge fights I'd had with my sister, my mum, you. And I think... And you. And I think that's why it's been so helpful, because now we know that this is more likely to happen in those days. So you don't think there's any truth in what I said? I understand all the health of it at all. I understand that. I'm not leaning into the symptoms because I've been given a diagnosis, which is what I think you're saying. Yeah, well, that's what I was trying not to say, but yeah. And I think that what you're trying to do now is for me to say, I'm wallowing in it or something like that. No, again, wallowing is again a word that I would not be using for fear of rebuke from not just you, but the population at large. I think it's a very difficult conversation to have in a sort of fair and nuanced way. What do you want me to say? I don't want you to say anything. I want you to say what you feel. I want everybody only ever to say what they feel. And I want... I think, there's a chance that what I could have just suggested, people find offensive or belittling, or they feel like that was the wrong thing for me to say. I don't think you said anything clear enough for them to feel like that. Because everybody's such a fucking pussy that I can't say anything anymore without people going, you can't say anything anymore. No, I don't think you said anything. I don't really understand the question, if it was a question. I'm speaking from my own personal experience, and that was another strategy that I was using to be more likable, to free myself from external judgment. I don't think that I'm quite a fighter in that way. So I am fighting at each cycle. Yeah, I'm not surrendering in the sense that you meant it. Yeah. I'm like, no, that can't be a thing. That can't be a thing. And that's why I'm so resistant to medication, because I don't want to take medication. I don't like any medication. Sure, but why? Fear. I'm scared of side effects, and I'm really sensitive. I react very easily to little things. I'm not somebody who eats loads of different things and drinks loads of different things and I react quite massively to tiny little differences in my daily intake, whatever it is. And so medication-wise, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of what that would do to me. And do you think that there is whatever you are feeling, and this is, again, there's very unpopular psychologists called Johann Hari or whatever his name is, who suggests things similar to what I think, and everybody doesn't like him, whatever. I don't care. All I'm doing is trying to have, conversation, and I don't know what the answer is. So I go into this with a completely open mind, and I'm speaking from how I feel about myself and my own diagnosis. So I think that the idea of your brain being ill, there's something almost dehumanizing about it, because it's separating me, the human Alfie, from the things that I feel. So I am, like, in the same way that you say I am bipolar, you don't say I am cancer. You don't say I am like gout or I am foot and mouth disease. You say I have it, but you say I am bipolar. So it inhabits the very character of who and what you are. Your personality is your illness. And I hate that, and I reject that, and I think and I don't like it. And it's maybe similar to the reason when I've got a headache, I don't
take Nurofen, which angers you deeply, because I want to know what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
So I want to know if it gets worse, whether or not I should be doing something about it. And
that's why you don't take medication.
That's why I don't take medication. And if you do take medication and it works for you, then hooray. We should all be trying to navigate this life in the way that best suits us. And
I also think I'm
us.
saving medication for the worst of it. There's something about me that's like, no, I can cope with this. I can cope with this feeling.
What do we think the worst looks like then? Do we not think we've experienced?
No, I think, well, I don't want to be too morbid, but like I don't want to numb myself basically right now. I want to feel these things. And I also want to learn. I don't want to be, if I'm going to go on some kind of correct antidepressant, for what this is, I don't want to be on it till I die. So I would like to try and find a way of monitoring how I'm doing and working on strategies at home, and I'm not there yet. I still haven't tried those things. So once I, have time, I will. But there's also just fear. I think I did go on antidepressants after Becca was born, and I thought I had postnatal depression, which I don't think I did have. I think it was more
depression,
just depression. And the sertraline made me have my first ever suicidal ideation, having never had that in my life. And ever since I've had it. So I think I have now this kind of false belief that I will get that again with an antidepressant.
I know. I'd love to take ease with you, but...
Ease?
Ecstasy.
Well, apparently there's a new PMDD research, which is becoming much more talked about, which is really good. There's apparently a mixture of an antihistamine with a peptide that's apparently working amazingly.
Heavens.
Yeah. I know that's not E, but...
Well, I'd like to take ecstasy with you because I think we'd really enjoy it, but I think the next day it might be...
I don't think I'll ever do that. I don't think I'll ever do drugs like that. I would like to get into alcohol more.
You'd like to get into...
Yeah. I think in my 40s, I'm going to get into alcohol. Yeah.
What's going to be your drink? We found you a drink when we went to Paris together. That beautiful holiday of ours.
What was my drink?
Whiskey and ginger.
No, I don't remember that being that night. I don't like whiskey. I like rum. I think
it was rum and ginger beer.
I really dislike whiskey.
Yeah. It was rum, spiced rum and ginger beer. That's your drink.
Yeah, and now I've found beer.
You have found beer.
That specific.
I've called you through to beer. I can't wait to get you onto white wine.
No, never. Can't bear it.
There's so many different kinds of white wine.
Nope.
You might like one of them. You haven't tried all the white wines.
I don't like white wine.
You don't. That's like saying you don't like fruit. Okay, their fruits are different.
I don't like fruit.
You do like fruit.
I don't
you
like
eat fruit.
What fruit do I eat? What fruit do I eat, Alfie? Tell me. In a day, what fruit do I fucking eat?
Berries.
I don't eat berries anymore. I don't eat berries. Maybe I have a couple every few weeks. I don't eat. Okay, we need to go.
Right.
Well, hang on. What's your quick ferry across the Mersey? What would you like to? I want to go to a sauna.
Oh, me too.
Do you know that saunas? This is what my kids have learned from Creature Cases. I think it
fact file.
They do nothing. They're completely ridiculous. They don't do anything health benefit wise at all.
Sauna. You learned that from Creature Cases.
I don't think they did learn that from Creature Cases.
I thought people like your beloved Jay Shetty are always going on about the benefits of sauna.
Apparently it's complete bullshit. I'd like to know if that's true. But I think I could get into saunas.
I think sauna is...
Why are you saying it like that?
Because in Finland, they pronounce it sauna, and it's very normal for you to have a sauna. Apartment blocks have the community sauna.
Okay.
So... We're really...
Let's get out of here. Come on.
Hammering through the last...
I'm going on a ferry.
Across what?
The Mersey.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
When?
Because I just fancy it.
Okay, what now?
Yeah.
Okay, see you later.
Bye.
Yeah.
What would you like to do this week?
I'd like to go back to the dock ice bath and sauna place.
Yeah, you haven't been in ages.
I haven't been for a couple of years.
Why didn't you? No, you've been since we've lived here, haven't you?
Not since we've lived here. Since we've had the house, but not since we've lived here.
What happened last time to put you off? Saw that dead body.
No, nothing.
Okay. Yeah, you should do that. You really function well with, you always came back really energized. Maybe that is something that you could do to combat your extreme depression and bipolar.
Well, ice baths, I've heard, are complete bollocks. But the sauna is, there's lots of studies into its benefits.
So cold water plunging is bollocks?
Mm-hmm. Apparently.
And people are doing that the whole time, thinking that's so fascinating.
It just wakes you up because your body thinks, fuck, I'm dying. And then you get out and you go, it's okay, I'm not dying.
Well, that's maybe what I need to do during my Luteal phase then, just to realise everything is actually okay.
Mm. You should ask your surgeon if you're allowed to sauna and ice bath with new tits.
They're not that new anymore. And the surgeon doesn't, I'm off his books now.
Oh, do you feel?
His books. Can't see him again.
Not until next time.
Not until 5 years when I get them even fucking big.
Not until we get to the L cup.
Right. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. Let's just quickly promote some stuff.
I'm going to do that at the beginning.
No, I don't like.
I'm putting my foot down about this.
Okay, go on then. Thank you for listening, everybody. Good luck and have a nice day.
Okay. Goodbye.